You know, Crowder, who we made a bunch of, he shit on us.
Again?
Well, there's an update because Crowder got banned from YouTube.
Can't be abandoned. Steven can't fight this by himself.
Rules should not appear.
Dude, if Glenn Beck bro, if you ever have the quartering in a collage speak on your behalf, just erase your life.
Oh, that's the quarter?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Evenly
Wait, I was like,
enforced.
who is this guy? Why does he look familiar?
The quartering. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's not going to make it 1 week into this. Steven's the kind of guy who's like, oh, there's no such thing as systemic racism, who is like openly homophobic. It's like, bro, you are such a victim, dude. He is a horrible person.
You, Ethan Klein, and this is what happens with liberals, not only lines up with it consistently, supports active deplatforming, demonetizing, and removing points of view. Which I don't know how you come up as an independent content creator and then do this.
The quartering is without a doubt a social justice warrior, except the causes he fights for are just different. I sentence him to be banned from Twitter and demonetized 20 billion times. This whole thing of like, they came for Leafy and you laughed, and next they came for you and nobody was there. It's like, dude, no.
Don't say it's like, dude. Explain, dude, what it is like. Come on, man. Do you not see the dangerous march toward fascism? Not march. You're there. You've reached King Koopa of fascism. You're jumping over and hitting the key. I can't believe this. This is what's so scary is when you have people who have the ear of executives at YouTube who get these branding deals and they say, oh, it's almost medical misinformation. It's almost medical misinformation, bro, to say that you should think about it.
The guy is just such a hateful bigot, bro.
You're just projecting. Don't you remember you said the N-word, baby? Then you said it again and then again, baby. Baby, 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 oh baby. You literally said.
Nick, I love that I can just say nigger though.
I like this. This is cute.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Steven Crowder versus Ethan Klein is one of the most hilarious internet battles right now, and I think a lot of it, these stupid, petty creator battles, are really the result of dull news cycles, to be honest with you. I don't think that Ethan Klein would register on Steven Crowder's radar if there wasn't much else going on right now, and probably vice versa, although Ethan Klein's content is now kind of exclusively this kind of like petty internet drama. That isn't to say my content is hard-hitting or necessary to the planet. I'm just pointing out that, you know, as somebody who has consumed Ethan Klein's content for probably over 10 years, I can absolutely speak to how it's changed. It's not for me anymore, and that's okay. I don't actively go to his channel and just dislike the videos and rage about how he's changed. Everybody knows he's changed. He used to be kind of a bastion for free speech and fair use, and now he's turned into this kind of MSM toady, this guy that sits back and relies more on insults on people's physical appearance and kind of ad hom attacks as opposed to bringing actual arguments. And look, we all fall into that. Certainly I've done that before. But watching him try and take on Steven Crowder has been hilarious. You can like or dislike Crowder, you know, that's irrelevant. But the dude comes prepared. He does his research. He's got a team. What Ethan Klein wants to do is just lay back in his chair and say, bro, look at him with his small wang energy. Bro, he has a cigar. Bro, he's wearing a holster. Pfft, opinion disregarded. And that's fine. That probably appeals to his low IQ audience. An audience that just wants to tune in and not really be actively involved with the content. I can't imagine he's got a lot of critical thinkers that view his content anymore, and that's okay. His channel is doing just fine, actually. As much as people would want to say the guy's channel is dying, it really isn't. You know, he's got his H3 podcast, which is doing 36 million views a month, which is I don't know, probably double the size of my channel. He's extraordinarily well viewed, averaging over 1 million views a day. He's got his clip channel, which probably does more than that. And I think he's abandoned basically his H3 channel. But I mean, why wouldn't he? He can lay around and do extraordinarily low effort content and just kill it, making millions a year. Why would I judge him for that? I mean, you can see how the podcast views are going way down. March, 48 million. April, 43 million. May, 36 million. Down over 10 million views. That's just everybody on YouTube right now, though. Everybody's views are kind of down. I think to understand why so many content creators care about just how far Ethan Klein has fallen, it's because we all looked up to the guy. You know, back in 2017, the entire community rallied behind him, you know, pushing forward this lawsuit to protect fair use, a lawsuit he didn't have to take on, a lawsuit that was very expensive, far more expensive than the many tens of thousands of dollars he raised even. And we all appreciated him for that. But nowadays he's turned kind of into this bitter old man who holds an insane grudge. I mean, the guy put out, I think, a 1-hour video on me, just so angry the whole time because I dared to criticize him, you know, finding it very convenient to, you know, bring my wife into things, into, you know, again, with personal attacks. I would never insult Ethan for his weight gain or his looks or his tics or anything like that. But this is a guy that exclusively relies on personal attacks. For example, you know, with Steven Crowder talking about how his beta energy and his looks and what he's wearing. And maybe this is coming from hanging out with somebody like Trisha Paytas all the time, you know, and the idea that, you know, calling people rednecks and how he's just so much more intelligent than everybody else simply by just, you know, sitting back and listening to the government. He talks about, you know, that what's the point? He talks about government and what's the point of having government? This is in his latest video, you know. What's the point of having government if, you know, if we're not going to just believe every word they say? This is something Ethan actually said. What's the point of having government and propping it up if we don't listen to them? That's what Ethan Klein says. And, you know, I would argue that many of the people in our government are not propped up by us, not voted in. Was Anthony Fauci voted into his position by us? No. Was the WHO and the CDC just blindly correct about everything? Absolutely not. If Ethan Klein cared to do any research other than just quote unquote memeing on people, he would have seen the email leaks where information was fluid, changing, but also provided differently to his private friends than the public. Ethan also lives in a state with an authoritarian government who continues to keep them all locked down while the rest of the country is getting on with our lives. It's shocking to me that he can't see the difference in that. And what's interesting is, you know, Steven Crowder attacks Ethan and Hila. I think fine, clickbaity. I don't think he attacked them. A lot of this really started, the nexus of this whole Ethan Klein trying to take on conservative commentators started when Joe Rogan kind of mocked Hila for wearing a mask outside. Look, I don't think that my position has always been, if you want to wear it. And I'm not going to make fun of you for that. My position has only been on, you know, when we talk about mandates and lockdowns and requiring it and that kind of stuff I don't like. But if Hila Klein wants to wear a mask 24/7, that's entirely her right, and it wouldn't be something I would make fun of her for. And essentially there was a podcast with Joe Rogan and I think a comedian, Whitney Cummings, and they kind of roasted her for sitting outside at a comedy show wearing a mask when everyone was already tested and it was outside. So perhaps, you know, hey, look, she's, you know, with child now, we know this, and maybe she was just trying to be extra careful. It's not something I would make fun of. But they took it very personally, and of course, that's what the you know, the Kleins do. They hold grudges. And I should say Ethan, really. Ethan does. This video isn't about Elon. She has nothing to do with this, from what I can tell. So they went on a rampage. Let's see. June 4th, let's look at Crowder's talking about H3H3's groupthink. You don't have to think about it, dude. This is a video where, you know, they're talking about, I'll even show you the clip here, where they talk about this.
It's pretty simple. You want to talk about who's dumb?
Yeah, I mean, the CDC is like this whole governmental body with scientists and shit that just tell us what to do. You don't have to think about it, dude.
I mean, again, I understand, you know, I'm not a tinfoil hat wearer. If my doctor tells me something, you know, I might do some mild research or something like that, but there is an inherent level of trust there. But to sit there with all we know about the CDC and WHO and, you know, how things have not always been 100% correct, and to say, well, all you have to do is just sit back and listen to your government. I mean, they have what's your best interest in mind. Is hilarious. Of course not. Of course that's not the case. And of course they get roasted for it. Now they get really angry about it, and even their own fans don't care. 8.2 thousand upvotes to 8.2 thousand downvotes. So, I mean, did that go the way you thought it was? You can see the top comment. Ethan met his wife at a Holocaust museum. Ethan, you don't need to think about it. Just trust the government. I mean, that's exactly, I mean, there's no better roast than that. Hey, Ethan, why don't you go on Steven's show and have a conversation? Now, he probably doesn't want to do that. Ethan talking about another man having beta energy is peak irony. The show is the epitome of intellectual laziness and gaslighting. Yeah, I mean, I think that Ethan does have an ego problem, and when you poke at it, that's when it really, really, really gets under his skin. Ethan was never popular because he was smart. He was popular because he was funny. And this often happens. We see this with celebrities too. When they get popular, they think people give a damn about what they have to say about politics, which we don't. And, you know, you said, don't even think about it, dude. I mean, just getting completely demolished. Here's another clip. Steven Crowder is back on YouTube, and it's already a disaster. 2.7 thousand upvotes to 2.5 thousand downvotes. And this is an issue where Ethan continues to kind of have these veiled pro-censorship, pro-deplatforming comments. He talks about, in one of his clips, oh, it's just so easy being a conservative grift. The conservative grift is so easy. Did you even bother to look? I mean, Steven Crowder is fully demonetized. What are you talking about? And this isn't the first time. There's a lot of conservative YouTube channels that are fully demonetized. I mean, this is just like peak laziness. I don't have to know every little video that Steven Crowder does, but the idea that conservative content just has so many sponsors coming in is hilarious. There's a reason that Ethan Klein swims downstream. He hasn't had a controversial, non-mainstream take in a decade. It's because it's the easiest money. It's the laziest, most intellectually dishonest position, I think, that you can have to then point at other people and say, well, they're the problem. Look, I have no problem with your content existing. I hope it stays around for a long time, and I hope you make lots of money and your kids, you know, never have to worry about money and everything is awesome. I really do. I don't care about your content anymore. I know you're never going to be the man that you once were, and that's okay. But I think the idea that you can sit there, lean back in your chair, and expect people to just trust the government is hilarious. I think you can go too far, obviously, to where, you know, eventually you have to trust somebody. But I think it's reasonable to expect people to trust but verify. And the problem is when people trust but verify a lot of things Ethan Klein says, it's when he loses all of his credibility. But he doesn't really appeal. His target audience isn't people who want to do that. It's people who just want to lay back and meme on people and follow and trust the government and trust our overlords. And that's fine. That's one way to live, I suppose. I guess the world needs lots of sheep, and he's going to cater to them, and I think that that's very financially safe for him. Hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.